If you've been feeling stuck in life, I invite you to pay close attention to what I'm about to share with you. Do you feel frustrated knowing that there is so much more you can be doing with your life? Do you ever find yourself asking, how did I get here? Or is this as good as it gets? Maybe you find yourself watching on as others with less talent and ability succeed and get all the lucky breaks while you don't. Hi, I'm best-selling author Cheryl Hunter. If you've been feeling stuck in life, I invite you to pay close attention to what I'm about to share with you. Let's face it, sometimes life knocks you down and it's hard to get up. In coaching over 250,000 people over the past couple of decades, I've learned that the number one thing that gets people stuck is we get knocked down and don't get back up again. The crazy thing is, we don't see it as it's happening. One day we just wake up and feel like we've lost our mojo, we've lost our passion, we've lost ourselves. Can you relate? The author Daniel Pink interviewed a group of 4-year-olds. He asked them, who here is an artist? Now, if you can imagine, 4-year-olds, they're all like, oh, me. Everybody is an artist. Then he asked them every subsequent year, 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds. By the time he got to 8-year-olds, no one thinks they're an artist anymore. They got stuck. Life got the better of them. I assert the same is true for all of us. We were profoundly connected as little kids, but through the ordinary course of events, we've gotten disconnected from ourselves, from our purpose, from whatever the friggin' point is. So, if you've gotten stuck by anything that's ever happened to you, it's time to take back the reins, wave goodbye to all the BS, and learn to bounce. Are you ready? Good, let's roll up our sleeves and get to work. Enough settling. Enough getting by. Enough remembering your glory days like they're a thing of the past. No, now is your time. This is your turn. Fulfilling your destiny is truly a now or never proposition. In this video, I want to discuss with you a radical new way to look at challenges. Generally, when we look at challenges, change, adversity, we look at it from this mindset. We hope that when we face them, we can muster up enough willpower and internal fortitude to bounce back and not be worse for having undergone the struggle. I assert that that is a worn-out relationship to problems, one that we should just leave in the past. Bouncing back flies in the face of all I have learned over the past couple of decades, namely, which is those who dedicate themselves in the midst of challenges can emerge even better on the other side. The whole notion of bouncing back is centered around the idea of getting back to normal as soon as possible. But here's the thing, once you've undergone a challenge, it changes you. So there really is no going back. If that's the case, why focus on bouncing back when we can bounce forward instead? Bouncing forward is about emerging on the other side of a challenge on an even better path and as an even bigger person than you were before facing the challenge. I'd love to share with you a story about my grandma Josephine. My grandma was one of the original Rosie the Riveters. You remember the women. We can do it. In the midst of World War II, she went to work in a steel mill making steel. She would tell me the stories of getting the iron ore and taking it to the blast furnaces and the smelting furnaces, and they would melt it down, cook away any impurities. She said it was the hottest thing known to man. But on the other side of all this fiery depths of hell, they would emerge with arguably one of the most strong substances known to man. As a kid, I made the mistake of thinking she was just talking about steel. But I see really that in the same way steel gets tempered by going through the fire, we too, as human beings, can emerge stronger on the other side of going through the fire. In my book, Get Unstuck, I break down 7 surefire steps to help you break free when you're going through the fire and you're in the thick of it. As my gift to you, you can download Get Unstuck for free at the bottom of this blog post. Today, I want to give you one more radical step to get unstuck, one more step to get unstuck, rather, using the radical concept of bouncing forward. So here's how. In order to do this exercise, I'm going to ask you to bring a real challenge that you're facing right now in life. So, get a piece of paper or a tablet or your computer or something and open up a new document, and at the top of the page, write down what the challenge is that you're facing. I'm not kidding, seriously. Go grab a pen and paper or whatever you need to take notes and do the exercise as it's designed. Don't just skim through it or fast forward here. Invest your time and energy in yourself for a few minutes. So, you got the challenge, right? Now imagine that there was a way that going through this challenge could benefit you. I fully understand that you may never have looked at it from this perspective before. And I also understand that you might be going through something horrendous or tragic, where it seems like nothing good could come out of this situation. And I'm sensitive to that. And I don't take it for granted if that's the case. This isn't easy work, but if you're willing to dig in for a moment and be with the discomfort, I can promise you that this exercise will open up your eyes to seeing things in a new way. Even if it seems like nothing good could ever come out of this challenge, just take a moment and spitball and make a list of things, no matter how far-fetched they might seem. I'm going to give you an example. One of my clients was a senior executive at a large multinational tech firm, and her company was acquired by a larger corporation. And when that happened, my client was let go. She was shocked. She felt betrayed. After all, she was one of the executives who'd orchestrated the takeover in the first place. She thought that her time in the sun was just beginning. I gave her this assignment, and she just shook her head saying, "No way, there is absolutely nothing good that could come out of this situation." Compassionately, I asked her to try the assignment anyway. She went off. 2 weeks later, she breezed into our next session looking like a new woman. She goes, "I am going to do it. I'm finally going to open up my own consulting company." Now, we had spoken about her wanting to do this for the whole year that we had been working together, but she'd been so maxed out with her previous job that there was no way she could have done that. The best part, she said that she and her son had the deepest conversation ever, in her words, and the two of them reconnected in a way that she feared they never would ever again. "I thought I'd lost him," she said, "but what I realized is he had actually lost me. Thank God," she said, "that I was fired. It was the best thing that ever happened to me." So, with that example, are you starting to see that there may be more to this exercise than meets the eye? This exercise may have something for you. So look again and list something new, something you may not have even thought of yet. You may not know my story. As a kid, I grew up in Colorado in the remote mountains on a little horse ranch. As a girl, I longed to move to the city and meet fascinating people from different backgrounds and make some difference with my life. As a teenager, I went overseas with my best friend, and I was abducted by two men who eventually left me for dead. After that happened, I felt like my life was over. It had gone down the toilet and my dreams along with it. In the process of trying to get my life back, I read inspiring stories of people who had gone through challenges and who had emerged stronger on the other side. People like Mahatma Gandhi and Dr. Viktor Frankl. I started to realize what was possible, that I could, in fact, be better for what I had endured. Today I have a life I love. I split my time between my little tiny Colorado mountain town and the city, and I know people from all over the world, and I make a difference for people in a way that I never could have before. None of that wouldn't have happened if I hadn't endured what I endured. So how about you? How can you bounce forward because of the challenge that you're facing? Bring to mind someone that you know who faced a challenge, or someone that you've heard of. It could be somebody big, like, Martin Luther King, or it could be a neighbor or a family member. Just bring someone to mind now. All right, now imagine yourself modeling them, doing the same thing. See yourself on the other side of the challenge and see your life taking a huge upward swing because of the challenge that you faced. Now, I want you to emblazon that vision upon your mind so that that is what you think of when you think of the challenge that you're facing right now. If there's one thing I know for certain, it's that you can get unstuck. I have helped thousands upon thousands of people do just that. So download Get Unstuck right here, right now as my gift to you, and get out there and live the life you were born to live. Go get 'em. You can do this.